So it takes a bit for this to show up, but sometimes I think it starts pretty readily. I am apoplectic right now. I am apoplectic. I am so pissed. I am in the mood to break something. That's the level of piss that I am. Ask me why I'm that pissed. Ask me why. Why? Jamal, why are you that pissed? You don't typically get that pissed. Yeah, over this particular last week or 2 weeks, you've had a lot of energy lately, and so you've been kind of a caged bear, and you haven't necessarily had your regular channel because that was taken away from you, which kind of gets to the reason that I am so pissed right now. Why the level of pissedness is, yeah, I there's no scale. I can't get it across. There's no scale. Outside of me hulking out and breaking something or becoming fat like Thor because he didn't necessarily take Thanos' head in the first place. He had that level of rage and anger in him all of that time, and it just affected his body in that particular fashion. Or like Superman when Lois Lane was killed and he nutted up and basically tried to take over the world. That's where I am. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, YouTube and the eggheads at YouTube made a decision to demonetize my channel. They sent the letter, form letter. We apologize. We demonetize your channel. We know that this is probably a painful thing. And so if you think we're wrong on this, you can click that link. That doesn't matter. That goes into an empty mailbox that nobody watches. But hey, it's like getting under a desk during the nuclear holocaust. It's a button. It gives you something to do, just like it gave the other people something to do when they got under the desk. But it's basically an empty button. It is a faceless entity. It is a God that is unaccountable. And when people tell me, these libertarians tell me how much they love capitalism, but they don't love it on this because they can't say what the fuck they want on it. And then they see the reality of the capitalistic system, the private enterprise. This is mine. I want to draw a circle around this, and I am going to be unaccountable based upon the cash that I can get out of this particular endeavor. And we, as human beings, so fucking stupid, have allowed this nonsense to be our commons. Meaning the things that we say and the way that we interact with each other is at the whims of a faceless, unaccountable entity that will operate within its own whims and its own discretion, even if that means cutting off the president of the United States. And liberals cheer that shit. What happens when that faculty is random? What happens when it's arbitrary, when it's politically arbitrary, where you can actually show that they are lying through their teeth, lying about people and their particular content? Oh, this content is harmful. Show me where it's harmful. No. You have to figure out the content that we're talking about that's harmful. What if none of it is harmful? No, we're just calling it that. The fact of the matter is we're going to call it that because that's the way that we allow ourselves to brace broad strokes of all of this stuff without us identifying it. Because the moment that you have to identify the content that does it, that level of transparency leaves you open to scrutiny. And that is the word that they don't necessarily want to deal with. So we're not going to deal with that. We're just going to demonetize. Do you know there's nothing on my channel that would allow this channel to be monetized? I am proud of that particular fact. We have the arguments, we have those fights, and there is nothing on this channel that is harmful. That is a fucking lie, and a slanderous lie at that. And to prove that it was a lie, YouTube actually came back and said this right here. We fucked up. We're sorry. We fucked up. We're sorry that we took your money for those particular days. We're sorry that we're unaccountable when we fuck up like that. We're sorry that there is no consequence to us when some egghead making whatever the fuck that egghead makes decides to destroy your livelihood. Our fuck up, our bad. We're turning back on. Aren't you happy now? No, I'm not fucking happy now. I'm not happy. I lost money on those days. Hey, maybe there was a big story, like impeachment that I wanted to do the news on and couldn't necessarily do the news on. Yes, there are no consequences for that shit. And they can do it in a heartbeat. Following up on this, the team found that your YPP suspension was an over-enforcement of our policies. No shit, Sherlock. I could have fucking told you that. And I did tell you that. A lot of people told you that. 10, 20, 30 people told you that. And you still did it. And you did it to a lot of fucking channels. Following up on this, our fuck up. Following up on our fuck up that cost you X amount of dollars. Even if it was 25 fucking cents, it was my 25 fucking cent to make. Following up on our fuck up. This was an over enforcement of our policies. You should see that your channel has been reinstated into the YPP. We're sorry for the frustration this has caused. Thank you for bearing with us as we sorted this out. As if I had a fucking choice otherwise. Don't send me that letter. Don't fucking send me that letter. I don't need your fucking phony apology. Or this, oh, we're sorry that we, fucked you over in this way as we fucked up. Here's the question. An over-enforcement of your policies. So there's subjectivity in those policies. Is that what I'm getting? There's subjectivity in those policies. And if there is subjectivity in those policies, who is making the choice? Who is making the determination that this is okay, but that is not? When those two things are so similar that whoever the fuck you had doing the job couldn't tell the difference. So what about now? What about now? What about now? We're shown as a flat fact that you can fuck up because I got the documentation right here. Unless Twitter shuts me off in order to defend YouTube, its brother in class, tech class. There's a fuck up. You fucked up. There's one fuck up. And I don't believe for a minute that that is the only fuck up that you make. So if you fucked up here, is it possible that you fucked up somewhere else? And the answer to that, of course, is of course they fuck up somewhere else. Of course they did. When they took down Faultline's video, because the video had the words rigged election in quotation, the person didn't know the difference between rigged election and quotations, which makes the point that we're about to ridicule the person that is calling it a rigged election. And then if you look at the video and you see that we're ridiculing the people who call it a rigged election. And yet, the brilliant eggheads at YouTube couldn't tell the fucking difference and didn't have the stones or even the fucking concern to look at the video to tell the difference. This is what we're operating in. This is what we're operating in. Nathan getting fired from The Guardian for putting out a tweet about Israel. Think about that. He puts out a tweet, a credible tweet, criticizing the money that we're giving to Israel. Why are the fuck we giving Israel money in the middle of a pandemic when we can't even get them to do bare fucking things for the public? And we're talking about giving Israel money? Yeah, that shit should be criticized. And the idea that they fire him for that is massively fucked up. And you know what it tells me? That I don't need to know a goddamn thing that is coming out The Guardian as pertains to Israel if they're going to take that tack, because there is no opposing point of view in that. Ooh, I think Palestinians are human beings that need to be lived. You're an anti-Semite. You're fired. That's where we're at. They are taking down videos where they can't even understand the context and don't have the care to check the context before striking down the video. I'm trying to make the point to you that this is money, this is income. People make the choice to join this particular channel in order to, do what they do. They were earning their worth. That's what they were doing. And now this shit has gotten to the point where they just, broad strokes, destroy livelihoods. And it doesn't necessarily matter. I got to be honest. Again, I keep making the point that companies, even private companies, have responsibilities that they need to uphold if they are going to do business. And whether that falls under the auspices of Section 230 or not, the question becomes, if they have discretion in this, how is that not them acting as a publisher? Honest, real talk. How on earth, if you have that much discretion where you can come back and say, we fucked up. And if there's one fuck up, I am a software engineer myself. I know working with systems, if there's one bug, there's probably going to be another. if you have that much subjectivity where you can come back and say, yeah, we really fucked this one up, then there are other people where you probably fucked up. And it's a subjective choice that you are making. And in doing so, you are making a political publisher choice. How is this not a breach of Section 230? The second fuck up. I do a show in the morning, Fault Lines. The channel's back on, no issue. I go back to do a show that evening. I upload an unlisted video. And that unlisted video was Sidney Powell saying crazy things. The video was uploaded only for the point of a reference video. The only person who ever saw the video was me, because it was unlisted, because that's where the video was going to stay, because it was Sidney Powell saying crazy stuff, and I wanted to reference it for the very next video. I go to do a live stream. In the middle of the live stream, or I finish my live stream, and I look, and my channel is shut down. Nuked. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I see that they attacked the video that I was doing, and they took that video down. And then they also said, hey, and the other Sidney Powell video is spam. What? How is it spam when nobody has seen the video? How's it spam? How Orwellian is this shit? Using terms like harmful to describe just things that are showing reality. And using that term as this kind of political instrument to just bludgeon people who are asking, well, people who don't ask the question of how is it harmful? They're using these terms in Orwellian ways to escape, in some degree, criticism, transparency, and honestly, blame for just fucking incompetence and not being able to do programmatic things well, because they're doing it for political fucking reasons. That's your issue. Your issue isn't this content. Your issue is you had a platform that you were supposed to have people do their thing on. And because you want to, oh, I don't like this, but I like that. This is okay, but that's not okay. You're dropped into the political fucking snake's pit. And by definition, you're being a fucking publisher. You should be held to those responsibilities. I do my video, my live stream. I'm going to show you the live stream. I get my video, my stuff gets taken down. So I send Team YouTube and says, what the fuck are you doing? This is monstrously wrong. You're slandering me. You're slandering my channel. A, you said it was harmful. Then you said we fucked up. And you just fucked up again. Because that video is not spam. Nobody saw it. That video is not deceptive, because I am literally doing the video criticizing, saying Donald Trump needs to be impeached. And they're basically saying, hey, that video had deceptive activity in the video. The entire video is me saying he's lying. I get an email right here. Right here. Hi, Jamal. My name is Mark. I'm reaching out on behalf of YouTube's community outreach. It surfaced to my attention that Team YouTube, that you recently posted a video on your channel and wanted to follow up to let you know the review team is looking into it and follow up once we have it. I said, Mark, the following Twitter thread below has the video in question and the end product and details what happened. There was no scam, no spam, no deceptive content. A 1-minute video that was uploaded is unlisted to be used only as fair use guidelines reference in the longer video. Meaning, I can use that clip because it's fair use. And it is easier to upload the clip to YouTube as unlisted or as private to use it, as opposed to trying to use it on my own computer. It's more difficult to try to, it's easier to flip to a page as opposed to using your device for it. So that's just the way that people, all of us, do. That's that's what's typically done on some level. Meaning that's normal. That's normal. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's fair use guidelines. I was working on the impeachment trial. Both are listed in the Twitter thread with further information on what occurred. Let's open the Twitter thread. Because my thing was, this is my evidence that shows you guys are wrong. You fucked up again. This is your second fuck up. The first fuck up makes it clear that you can fuck up. And if I know you fucked up on me, I know you fucked up on a lot of people. And this is, again, another fuck up. I said, YouTube, this is wrong. Frankly, defamatory. You are wrongly accusing me of releasing spam, deception, or scams. That is a lie. You stole my revenue for several days on the last lie about harmful content. Couldn't even point to anything. Fortunately, the vids are below. Please share this. This was the first vid. My distrust of your organization is such that I saved the video. And that's true. I don't trust them. This was uploaded as unlisted to keep track of the content. It never budged from unlisted. It wasn't even monetized. I even have a folder called for reference that this was going to go into. The opposite of spam. The point of the video was fair use, which is what I did. Right here. This was that video. Sidney Powell saying really crazy shit. Unlisted. This was the end product. This video below, right here. No. This video below incorporated the above video under fair use to describe the lies that Donald Trump and his people were peddling. The video argues that Trump should be impeached. And above shows no ridiculousness of it at all. No scam, no spam, no deception. Let's just click this video. This video is set to private. Now, let's go to this. Because I have this video up. Oh, by the way, I want to show something else. The video that I did live stream, they took that video down. And basically, something apparently was wrong with that video. And it went in line with basically the Sidney Powell video. You're talking about stuff we don't want you to even talk about. It doesn't even matter if you're saying that the election wasn't stolen. Hey, you said 2 + 2 = 4, but the very fact that you asked the question goes too far. It breaches our guidelines. Or better yet, hey, I know you said that 2 + 3 is not equal 5, but the fact that the 3 was there in the first place breaches our guidelines. Are you insane? Here's the video, just so you can see it for yourself. So I am going to flip over to the other account, because you know what's wild about this? They allowed, this is how stupid this is. They allowed it on their other account. Seriously, they allowed it on their other account. So, right here. Oh, I know why. I made this private because I put it on Rockfin, but that's fine. All right, right here. I made it private yesterday, so they would have already been through this. All right, so let's try this again. Come on. Give it to me. There we are. All right, this is the video. This is literally the video. This is the end product. Now, I gave them all of this. They said that what you were doing was spam, scam, or deceptive content. That's their charge. Right here. Here's the end product. You tell me. This is how it starts, and I'll give you a little bit of it just so you can see the taste of it. The title of the video: for the soul of this nation, Donald Trump should be impeached.
People love you, and you win. And when your son looks at you and says, "Mama, look, you won," bullies don't win. And I said, "Baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there and we're going to impeach the motherfucker."
That Spitfire is Rashid Tlaib. I love that woman. And I've always made the point, I've even made the point that if I wasn't necessarily married, it'd be you. But I am married. So let's talk politics. She told her kid, we're going to impeach that motherfucker. And they impeached that motherfucker. Twice. First time around, this channel argued that it was not deserved in the least, that basically it was Russiagate nonsense, and Joe Biden himself was pretty much guilty of the thing that they were accusing Trump of. There's that. Second time around, however, not so much. Donald Trump jumped the shark, and that's exactly where this impeachment landed. Is it a political process? Yes, but it is politics. And in the sense of Trump, I got to be honest, from my standpoint, Trump not only should be impeached, Trump has to be impeached, despite the fact that he's going to walk. And I'm going to make the argument why I think Donald Trump should basically be impeached. You get the tenor of where that's going. Also, if you've watched me on Fault Lines, you know where I am on this. I am the last man on the wall. There are a lot of lefties that don't believe Donald Trump should be impeached. Fuck that. He tried to turn the table over and take it. Yeah, that's where the game stops. That's where the game stops. Why do you think that cynical motherfucker Mitch McConnell even got up there and gave that speech about this is not something we do? The concession speech is one of the most important things in the president elections. It is the reason why we don't have that shit that takes place in like Africa whenever these guys are killing each other over elections. I was in Kenya. They have like fortresses and whatnot. And it was like, yeah, we hate elections. We hate elections. Because the other person never concedes and the group that's with that other person gets guns and decides they're going to take it, all because they don't accept the legitimacy of the election. That special thing of legitimacy is important. It's why it's fostered. And it's why it's all of them do it. And Donald Trump hitting that hat rail was weird in and of itself, taboo in and of itself. I gave him leeway and cover on that. But the moment that you tell me Hugo Chavez's dead ghost was raised by the communists working with the CIA to help kill Donald Trump's chances, then I'm going to say, you think the American public is that stupid? If you indeed are that stupid, I still can't accept your framing of the world on this. Meaning there's some things that you should know. And one of the things you should know is that is fucking nonsense. Which means, yeah, you lose legitimacy to make that argument to me. You're basically screaming fire and you have nothing to back that up. It's one thing if you're screaming fire because, yeah, there's a fire. Somebody is stealing this shit. But that's not what took place. And Donald Trump said, hey, we're working by different rules. Why are we working by different rules? Because the election, the argument he was making was entirely illegitimate. And because it was illegitimate, that nobody has the space, or for that being, he is in that space. And trying to push all of these people to do all of this illegal shit, I get it looked utterly incompetent. It doesn't matter if it was incompetent. You understand that he could have got that with a different group of people being in. If Pence was his guy could have done that. There's all sorts of chaos and stuff that could have taken place within the mechanics of the presidency. He could have did that. It is vitally important that a stake is put in the ground that never should happen. I mean, from the standpoint of even Obama should have prosecuted Bush. And honestly, the reason he didn't prosecute Bush is because he himself wanted the power to be able to go into those other countries in the exact same way. He understood that if you prosecute Bush, he puts himself on the hook for the exact same thing. Impeachment goes beyond just the basic politics. It goes into the overarching thing of what you don't want. And if the person is going to be in the role of the presidency with that much power and authority, yes, there are other consequences that go beyond just him being a person saying shit. I'm sorry, I don't get this argument that it's okay for him to try to throw the table over and take it all. If we are going down in a burning fire, that's one thing. That's a free-for-all. This would have been an organized give-over to God King Trump, basically giving it to the fascists.
Come eat your dinner.
And that was not something.
Fitzu, eat your dinner.
What the hell?
Come on, sweet boy.
Okay.
Come on, eat your dinner.
I don't know what they're doing up there. I'm sorry.
You don't even live here. You just got...
Yeah, that's her upstairs. We have a new dog. What the hell? Yeah, we have a new dog. I'm sorry. The Sidney Powell clip is in this video. And yeah, I am owning that video. I have clip of Trump all the way through making his arguments. I have clips of Trump, and the rival and all this other stuff that was taking place. I don't know if this was the video where I had the evidence that basically said Trump knew that Pence was in danger as he was sending tweets to go after Pence, calling him a pussy and all this other stuff. Yeah. Why do you think all of them were so angry at Trump? It was because basically he tried to turn over the table. And all of those people that are in that space, they can be crooked. They can be, corrupt. They can kill people abroad. They can do all of these horrible fucking things that are basically allowed within the fabric of the political space. But there's something else within the context of the social contract, this agreement that you make when you participate in politics, that when you lose, you leave, because there are clear consequences when you don't. I said that this was going to take place. I don't have a time machine. I don't have a magic wand or anything else. I fully understand. I was making the argument about why the concession speech was so important for this very specific reason. I've been right all the way through with the politics of this. I said Biden was going to win. I said Democrats were going to keep the House. I said they were going to take the Senate. Everybody said, oh, that's not going to happen. That's exactly what took place. I'm right on this one too. Trump should be impeached. In a functional democracy, in a functional government, he would be impeached. I get Democrats are horrible. I get they're using this for theater. That is very true. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. So that's my video. And you can watch that video on Roku, actually, because I put it on Roku. It's the same picture, the same clips of Donald Trump saying those things, the one of Sidney Powell saying what she's saying, because again, it was a reference video that nobody else was going to see, that it was used for fair use, with the exception of me. And they struck that down too. They took that video down. Weirdly enough, I could upload it on my other channel, because again, there was nothing wrong with that fucking video. I'm making the point that the moment that I explain this, and I give this, it makes rational sense, right? Everything that I've just told you is perfectly true. Hell, it's even documented in the email. He responds. He says, hey, thank you for your patience while I try to work this out. Our routine carefully viewed your video and confirmed it violates the president election integrity policy and was correctly actioned. You can find more information about this article for the policy here. We remove content uploaded after a safe harbor date that advances false claims that widespread fraud, error, glitches, or charges outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Think about that. And just to be clear, our team carefully reviewed your video. We carefully reviewed your video. The thing is, the moment that I explain, hey, this video was unlisted, nobody saw it, it was just me. This video was used for reference. Here's the video that came out of it, where you can watch it for yourself. It's 21 minutes, and you can see how the video was used and the final product. And then you send me an email basically saying, hey, we carefully reviewed what you gave us. Carefully reviewed it. And we came to the conclusion that, yes, indeed, 2 + 2 is indeed 5. And the video that you put out there that basically said otherwise was problematic for us. Isn't that astonishing? How? How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you end up with a situation like that, where the individual describes it? There's another individual, a human being, that is supposed to be talking to you saying, we review this. And yes, despite the fact that you explain that this video, nobody saw it, that video that nobody saw is spam. Is spam. And that video that nobody saw is hurting minds somewhere in some particular way by magic, by utter and pure magic. And that the end product that you made that was basically making the point that this election was not rigged was insufficient for us. So we ripped that down also. We ripped that down also. Are they insane? Are these human beings? Who are these fucking eggheads that look at information and can't tell the difference between an apple and a fucking Cleon? Who are these people? Who are these people? Why are you even responding to me if you're going to lie? Why are you going to respond if you're going to lie? Because that's all that is. That is a flagrant lie. You get your data. I gave you your data. I gave you all the information that you needed to understand what was taking place, the context of the situation, and you still come away with saying, yeah, on this one, even though we fucked up on the last one, we're totally and entirely right about this situation. You know what's wild about that? Is it possible that they just didn't want to say we fucked up twice? Is it that? I strongly suspect it's that. Yo, do we really want to admit the fucking up twice? I mean, he explained it. I mean, nobody saw it. So, I mean, really, how could it fit the definition of spam if nobody saw it? How could it be deceptive again if nobody saw it? If a tree falls in a forest and nobody hear it, did it actually make a sound at all? According to YouTube, that answer is indubitably yes. If nobody sees it, it still makes a sound, according to YouTube. Yes, it makes a sound. If a video falls in a fucking forest and nobody is there, nobody watches it, nobody even knows that it exists from YouTube's standpoint, it is spam and deceptive in some particular way. And when that video gets used as a reference, the new video gets ripped down. They slander me. saying it's harmful content. It's deceptive content. And then this part is the greatest part ever. Right here, right here, right here. Right here. In order for your video to comply with the policy, it must contain countervailing views and additional reporting. Context must be present in the images or audio of the video itself. Providing this in the title or description may be insufficient. I did an entire fucking video! I did an entire video! What are you talking about insufficient? Are you serious? Are you lunatics? What is fucking wrong with you? Why are you even responding to me if you're gonna say some stupid shit like this? Look at this. Look at this. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark. Thanks fucking lot, Mark. Thanks a lot. You guys are fucking liars. You're stealing money and you're liars. That's what you're doing right here. In order to comply, your video, it's an entire fucking video. 21 minutes. They took it down. They took that video down. Just to put this in perspective, YouTube are a bunch of lying motherfuckers. That's where I'm at. It is a fucking grift. They are doing everything in their power to pretend as if they're not acting like publishers, and they are. They got everything that they needed for that particular video, for that information, showed them that they were completely and indubitably wrong. And instead of coming to the human conclusion that, hey, we're sorry, we fucked up again. No, we didn't fuck up at all. We carefully reviewed what you sent us. And we came to the conclusion that even though you made a video going after Trump, the very fact that you questioned is too much for us. It's insufficient for us. 21 minutes of you going after the ridiculousness of Trump and Sidney Powell and all of those other people screaming that they need to be prosecuted or at the very least impeached. That is insufficient for YouTube. I am apoplectic, to put it mildly. I'm going to end this here. I'm going to say like. I'm going to say share. I'm going to say subscribe. Yes, I am pissed off, clearly. It's what it is. I can take a decision if I fucked up, right? Like, our boss, he's a good guy. I like him, actually. Respect the hell out of him. He can be, hot. He can get hot-headed. If you're wrong, you accept it, right? When you're not wrong, it is infuriating. And infuriating that much more so when there is no way of actually minding the gap to get across that they fucked up. And then when you point out that they fucked up in clear terms, and you have a history, a pathology of them fucking up prior, they still come away with a decision that is utterly bizarre. A human being looking would have been able to tell the difference. Look, I'm going to say like, I'm going to say share, I'm going to say subscribe. Apparently they have tip jars here, so if you want to tip the channel, you can always do that. YouTube has basically suspended the account for the entirety of a week. And despite the fact that they suspended the account, I have gained 600 new subscribers. So yeah, fuck you, YouTube. And fuck whoever the team thing is that's supposed to be dealing with that stuff, because they are, you must understand, people dedicate their lives to this. And think about it if it was you. You worked at your job, whatever job that you worked. And one day your boss comes in to say, hey, I didn't like the way you parked, so I'm not going to pay you for the next week. We still expect you to work, but you're not going to get paid. Or, better yet, you're not even going to be allowed to work. Meaning, the stories that take place, you're going to close your particular store. We're just going to close it. Your capacity to make cash or whatever else, we're just going to close it. We're just going to stop it. And we're going to do that for a week, maybe 2 weeks. And they do that shit. And you can point out, you guys are full of shit. You guys are wrong. And it doesn't matter. It's the ability, it kills people. Think about the number of people that basically use this for a living. And I'm not talking about the people who are kind of wilding out, like straight up Nazis and that stuff. I'm talking about people who do good work, like taking pictures of reality and saying, this is what we've shown. What is that guy? I can't think of his name. They use his work to go after Trump in the Senate. And yet YouTube took that down and demonetized his channel for it. I'm going to say like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.